All right, James with Barber Creek Long Range Shooting School. We are going to talk about trigger squeeze and follow through. Real important to understand that if you slap the trigger or you release the trigger under a shot, you can actually torque the gun just a little bit just by your hand movement. I'm not going to get into the semantics as far as crease of the trigger or the trigger finger or the tip of the trigger finger. Honestly, I put mine dead center. It doesn't really matter what you do as long as you're consistent, you know, whether you're pulling or pressing. I like a nice press instead of a push. So I'll kind of throw that out there. I like center of the trigger finger. Now, when we talk about trigger squeeze, when you close a bolt, get ready to shoot the gun, get behind it, as long as you don't let go of the trigger right after the shot, that's one thing that'll throw your shot off. The other thing is if you're scared, and a lot of people do, is they'll go ahead and run into the trigger. We don't ever want to run into the trigger. So when you squeeze the trigger, I'm going to do dry fire first. Get behind the gun, line everything up, check all your components, make sure everything is level. Take a breath, let it out, pause your breath, don't hold it. Squeeze, the gun fires. Hold the trigger for the rear for 1 full second. Push the gun back in the battery and then let go. I call it the 1 second rule. Now I'm going to go ahead and shoot and do this and let you see it. Hold the trigger for 1 full second after the shot and it will fix basically any trigger issues you've ever had. That 1 second rule fixes all trigger problems. So I get ready to shoot. I'm only at 600. I'm going to give it a 3/4 minute. Touch the trigger. Ready? Here we go, sending it. I'm holding the trigger to the rear. I saw the impact. Pushing it back in the battery, let go. So I hold the trigger for 1 full second after the shot. Now, don't worry about that you're holding it for a second, because guess what? Even if you're shooting at 1,000 yards, it's 1.47 seconds of flight time at this sea level. And at 600 yards, you're right around a second anyway. You're going to watch the bullet impact the animal like we talked about in an earlier segment. So hold it for 1 full second. Let the gun do everything it's supposed to do. Let the bullet leave the barrel. Hold that trigger 1 full second, and it'll fix all your trigger problems. Another downrange shooting tip from Barber Creek Long Range Shooting School.